Lol. I spotted the dummy who just assumes because masks are worn, that must mean they're effective. Hey sugar, there was a study that's in the National Library of Medicine on face masks from 2015. If you have decent reading comprehension, you might be shocked to learn the truth. This is your mask when you inhale. Now, before any of you anti-maskers out there click off this video with the newfound knowledge that this proves that masks do not work because of all of that steam or whatever leaving his mask there, this picture literally proves that masks do work. This anti-masker is trying to use this picture to prove that masks don't work, unknowingly proving that masks do in fact work. You see, the whole purpose of a mask is that when you cough or breathe out, you're not breathing directly into the face of whoever you may be talking to. Notice how all of the vape or whatever it is that he's breathing out is coming out the sides and the top. It's all around him, and none of it is being fired directly at the person he's talking to. Masks do work. And this idiot has proved it by trying to prove otherwise. Thank you very much. Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. Let her go. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today I am finally returning to r/vaxxhappened. There's a couple of reasons for this, namely the UK government has decided it's a great idea to, instead of telling everybody to be cautious and to stay at home, to just start paying people to go out and eat at restaurants and stuff. Pubs are currently packed full of people and the infection rate is only increasing. So it's time, I guess. It's just time for another one of these videos, isn't it? Just wondering, is MSG also a chemical created from the government? Most chemicals are created from the government. You know, well, most chemicals that aren't found in nature are usually created in a lab by the government. So probably, but that doesn't mean it's bad, though, does it? Not really. It's not gonna kill you. It's a fact that parents of the vaccine injured / dead and the vaccine injured themselves have researched and know more about vaccines than any mainstream medical professional. This is not a fact. You could go as far as to say maybe this is an opinion, but usually when it comes to opinion, there is not a right or wrong because it's an opinion, but this is just objectively and undeniably incorrect. A parent scrolling through Facebook and Googling problems with vaccines isn't going to top 10 years of medical education required to become a medical professional, so just stop yourself. You're just an idiot and you look like an idiot. You don't make yourself look smart, you just look dumb. Non-mandatory flu shots, Massachusetts. Protest. No mandatory flu shot. Really doing a whole protest? Like, come on. There are more pressing issues that you should be going to about protests right now than vaccines, especially during a pandemic. Protesting against vaccines during a pandemic is like probably one of the dumbest things you could do. If Biden is voted in by the Dummycrats, he will force everyone to get a COVID vaccination, which will contain a microchip so the Democrats can track our every move, and America will no longer be free. He will ban free speech and free thoughts. I believe the vaccine will alter our cognitive thoughts and turn us all into sheep so they can turn us all into Democrats and run this country into the ground. We must vote Trump 2020. He is the only one who can save us. He will cure COVID and we can all be done with this nonsense. Vote wisely. The only thing this person has said that is correct is vote wisely. Now, let me just take a second to address some of the things they're saying. First of all, microchips. We have been on this subject so many times at this point. I have done research into microchips in previous videos. There is no microchip big enough to be injected through a vaccine injection. And even if, small enough, I mean. And even if there possibly was, currently a microchip of that size would contain at most your name. Like, that's about as much information. It could maybe have a link or something. It couldn't track your location. Currently, the smallest tracker that exists is about that big and requires constant battery power. So microchips are out. This is from Editor Blue in the future, but a point I forgot to mention about the trackers is, you know, one thing that you do have that the government, amongst many other companies, can track you with? That's right, it's a phone! So if you're really worried about the government tracking you, you should be less worried about microchips and be more worried about the tracking device you are constantly carrying on you everywhere you go. As for the whole free speech thing, last time I checked, it was Donald Trump that was trying to ban TikTok. It was Donald Trump attacking newspapers for not talking his praise, and it was Donald Trump that tried to ban Twitter because they muted one of his tweets because he was just straight up lying to millions of people. We must vote wisely. That is correct. But Donald Trump is not the wise vote. No matter how much you lie, you cannot make Donald Trump look like a good choice. At this point, there is no way. Contagion myth. Why viruses, including coronavirus, are not the cause of disease. Oh. Are we really surprised that there are more uneducated people, clearly with no doctorate or any actual medical educations, writing books to capitalize on global fear? I'm not that surprised, but Thomas S. Cowan and Sally Fallon Morell, I'm putting your names out there because you were on the cover of this book and you are despicable human beings that need to learn that diseases are the cause of disease. That's why they are diseases. Stop writing books when you have no knowledge of what you are writing about. I'm against big pharma vaccines, but I trust our president with my life. That's your first mistake. If he endorses a vaccine, there has to be something different about it. Some sort of light therapy? Oh no. Or something that will reverse the damage that has been done from previous vaccines. He has been hinting at a lot of things, and most of the things he's been hinting at are the most cases and the most deaths in the world. So if you're trusting this man with your life, you are making a big mistake, because he's the last person you should be trusting right now. The only person that even comes close is the president of Brazil. Why can't we challenge our immune systems through exposure to microbes as nature intended? Well, congratulations, you just invented vaccines. That's literally their purpose. That's their whole point. That is literally their whole point. How can people be this dumb? You know, the same happened to me. Finally, a doctor asked for an MR, and the bone disappeared. I recently found out that it's a known side effect. Of course, no one ever heard of it. Bone in your arm disappeared because of the vaccine? Yes, I just saw a medical explanation/publication about it 2 weeks ago. I think they only mentioned Hep B, but of course I cannot find it now. Can you please elaborate? You have no bones remaining in your arm? So you have muscle, skin, blood vessels, nerves just dangling there with no bones to support them? Love to see a photo of that. Imagine you are so far gone into anti-vax territory that you think that the vaccines made your bones disappear. These people, they continue to amaze me with just what they think they can get away with making up. Nobody can believe this. Please tell me, this person censored here actually wrote OMG, but I really hope they're being, you know, satirical, they're playing along with it, because nobody can believe that a vaccine can make your bones disappear. Dude, vaccine have a very bad history of side effects. Research it. Please don't vax, full stop. Nature knows best, I swear. She's your mother. Like, I know this is Satan's page, but this whole COVID thing is a setup by his minions and by his boy Bill Gates. Yeah, Bill Gates is on Satan's side, everybody. For the up-and-coming revulsions, creating a giant divide of power from the people and the elites who run this fallen world. Don't give in to fear. Please don't destroy our humanity. Vaccinate your kids, you fucking moist cheese it. Seriously, like, every time I dive into these anti-vax topics, we get all kinds of conspiracies like this. Satan comes up an awful lot, as does Bill Gates. And just imagine you're Bill Gates, right? You are a millionaire, a billionaire in fact, and you pour a lot of money with your wife, a lot of money and effort into raising the death rates in third world countries. This is editing blue here again. This is one of the dumbest mistakes I've ever made in a video. I just said raising death rates. That is the complete opposite of what I meant. I meant lowering death rates and raising life expectancy. Bill Gates has not been killing children in third world countries. Bringing vaccines to places that can't afford them and medicating sick children in awful countries. And the response is that people call you Satan's minion and say that you're trying to microchip everyone. I really hope that Bill Gates never stops doing what he's doing, because he's doing a great thing. And I really hope that these people just shut up, really. A census guy showed up at my door the other day. I was in a good mood, so he left alive. When the vaccine guy comes by, they won't be leaving alive. Or I won't, or both. But I won't be taking the vaccine, or the chip, or any Bill Gates BS devices. Again, no microchip is going to fit into a vaccine, and if it did, it can't carry a power source, so it can't track you. It can't really do anything. And you're right, when the vaccine guy shows up at your door, you won't be leaving alive, because you'll probably have some preventable disease that you don't need to catch that will kill you, so joke's on you, I guess. If vaccines worked, we'd only need the COVID vaccine now. But they don't work, and never did. Well, Larry, you're incorrect. Roll credits. No, but for real, okay, right, Larry, if that is your real name, Larry Cook. Vaccines do work, and you know how I know the vaccines work? Larry, when was the last time you saw a child suffering from polio? When was the last time you saw an unvaccinated child suffering from measles, mumps, or rubella? When was the last time you saw a vaccinated child suffering from any of the diseases that we have vaccines for? I can almost guarantee that you have never seen this. And you might share a picture on Facebook of a child suffering from measles, mumps, and rubella, but chances are, and I'm almost certainly correct on this, that child is unvaccinated and being used by anti-vaxxers. Vaccines work, and we have proof of this by the fact that I don't have to worry about catching any of these preventable diseases. Vaccinate your kids. Thank you. Vaccines are Satan's pee. That's my favorite one yet. I am livid at how everything shut down because of this COVID. Why can't everyone use essential oils to remove this virus? I hate wearing these stupid masks that are a part of the libs' plan to eliminate free speech. Sick of these liberals trying to silence us about the government, trying to put dangerous chemicals in our babies' bodies. When will people learn to accept the truth? I have a little tidbit about what you just said. You said, why can't everyone use essential oils to remove the virus? And that is a very good point. And I have a point that answers that, and it is that they don't work and they won't remove the virus. You know how I know that essential oils are snake oil salesmen that claim to do all these things and do none of it? Because medication that works is called medication and is practiced by doctors. If it doesn't work, it's not used as medication. That's why your essential oils are not used, because they are useless. Speaking of snake oil, this is a Photoshop job, obviously, this person putting snake oil on this, but Young Living Oils claiming to cure all of these things that it just won't cure, and honestly, it should be illegal for these oils to exist. These oils should not be allowed to be sold under the pretense of curing illnesses that they have no way of curing. It should be illegal. Like, they are literally preying on people's emotions. They're preying on people that have no other options, and they're preying on people that don't know any better, and it is despicable and it is sick. As the number of vaccines we all have increase, so does cancer, autoimmune diseases, autism, ADHD, gender confusion, infertility, SIDS. I'm beginning to think that anti-vaxxers might be onto something. I guess I'm gonna have to tear this apart, but most of these, you know, cancer, autism, ADHD, infertility, stuff like that, you can mostly put down to the fact that people live longer, right? The longer you live, the more likely you are to get cancer. Your chances of getting cancer are drastically increased the longer you live. Stuff like ADHD and autism and other things that can be debilitating in life exist because we no longer have natural selection at play. On our Earth, everybody has the opportunity to a life, which means that people that would die out in nature no longer die out. That's why we have these things. And gender confusion, let's call it what it is. It's not gender confusion, it's knowing what gender you are and would rather be called. And this has always existed. This isn't a new thing. I mean, this goes all the way back to Egypt. It goes all the way back to Greece. Like, this has been in every culture. It has always existed. So stop spouting garbage, basically. And the final one. This is a crime against humanity announcing itself. Certificate of Vaccination Identification. A, the first letter of the alphabet, artificial. I, the ninth letter of the alphabet, intelligence. Certificate of Vaccination Identification by Artificial Intelligence. We have another case of some wise guy thinking that he can tear apart a vaccine's name and show that it's the Illuminati hidden underneath. I have the same response I have to the last time someone did this. That is, if someone is smart enough to engineer a virus or an AI to push vaccinations on the entire planet, don't you think they would be smarter than to just put the name of it in its name? Don't you think they would hide it a bit better so that some random dude on Facebook couldn't figure it out? Maybe, just maybe. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna wrap up the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. Oh, they never stop. Anti-vaxxers are never going to end. With each new generation, there are new anti-vaxxers, and it can't be avoided. But the only thing we can do is to try and educate people correctly. If you want to support my channel, I have a Patreon down below. This video is almost certainly not going to get monetized because YouTube hates anti-vax videos. Most of mine are demonetized, so maybe go support my Patreon out. I also stream over at Twitch every Thursday and Saturday at 8 PM UK time, so go check that out. Other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.